Good morning. Good morning. How are you all today? Good morning, you fancy bunch. How you all doing? What a wonderful Sunday morning it is. Did you see the cobwebs, the dew, all the fun excitement outside? It's starting to get quite nippy out there now, so all the dew's starting to happen. Dews are everywhere. Cobwebs are getting full of it. But it's nice and it's cosy. That's what it is. Nice and cosy. Dark mornings, dark evenings. Brilliant. But that doesn't mean things don't need to be done. I've got to do a belt change this morning on the Talbot because I've got to do the water pump belt and the alternator belt. I don't think I necessarily have to, but I've got a long journey ahead of me in the next couple of weeks. It's a very special journey. So I just wanted to, I've got the belts already, so I thought might as well just change them. So I'm going to get some tools together and see what I might need. I think I know a few things I'm going to need already, so I'm going to start making a little toolbox up. I need a socket set. Also gonna need got a bit of water there. Where's that come from? It's alright, it's only come off the brush. It's alright, I thought we had a leaky roof for a minute. So I've got the normal size spanners. Need things like 17mm, 13mm, 12mm, yeah. I've probably got enough spanners in here. Don't want to keep adding loads. Make me box heavy. 14mm, 12mm. I reckon I've got enough. 17mm. Right, so I've got enough spanners, but I know I'm going to need a pick. And I reckon this little one will do just the trick. Better take some of that, and we better take some WD-40. Oh, there's a lot left in that can. Sounds like me scary, crazy neighbours just about to go out. Hopefully he'll be gone and I can go out there. Oh, gonna need this valve. We've got to put this valve on, so I need that, and I better get a bit of PTFE tape and all. Oh, I've got a load of that somewhere. I hid it. I did hide it. I filed it away. There we go, look. Bit of PTFE tape. It's only for water. It's for the water tank, so for any of you that start going, you shouldn't use that on fuel or whatever. It's only for water. So that'll be good. Stick that in there. Although, I must say, when I used to work in a company, I used to work for a company when I was a welder engineer. I used to work for a company who used to make loading skids for the oil industry, you know, for like oil refineries and whatnot, for fueling up the tankers. And we used to put PTFE tape on all the fittings, and they had no trouble whatsoever. So, you know, it's what it is. But, right, so I've got everything I need. Let's go and do a bit of Talboting, shall we? Oh, look, before I go, let's check on my knife. So yesterday I did try filming it, but the camera that I was using is just no good at focusing in this environment. So I was going for a toolbox and I found an old knife. So, and it was so rusty that all of the wood on the outside had started to come off. So I took the rest of the wood off, and it was in good condition, the wood was. It covered in oil, but it was alright. So I got rid of all the rust from the knife itself, and, you know, cleaned it all up, and the wood, and then super glued it together. And I thought to myself, well, if it works, I've got myself a very nice penknife. Because my penknife, I can't find it. I lost it a couple of years ago. Must have lost it at work somewhere. Must have fallen out of my pocket. And I haven't had a penknife since. So, you know, if I can revive this 40-year-old penknife, I'll give the blades a bit of a sharpen, if they're going to stick together. And, oh, come on. You love focusing. Anyway, I'll give the blades a bit of a sharpen. And, but it's been overnight. It's been like, I don't know, 14 or so hours since I've done it. So let's release. Everybody loves a release every now and again, if you're lucky enough. And whoa, man. Well, they haven't sprung off straight away. Are the blades still operational? Or they fold out from where they were? Yeah. Will they go back in? Yeah, that one does. But this one. Ah, what's it hitting on? Pardon me. Oh, it's hitting on the other one. Why is it? What side of it is it? Ah, there we go. Well, that's good enough for me. Look at that. Can we get a focus on that, please? Thank you. Look at that. I've just repaired. I've got a good penknife now. I'll give it a little bit of an extra clean. I might try and find some varnish or something. Maybe I might go that far. I don't know. The wood's soaked in oil. But I'm well happy with that. I've got to go and find a sharpener stone. Must be one somewhere. And sharpen the blades up so they actually do what they're supposed to do. But I don't know if I better get a knife out with one hand. Hang on, let me hold on. Bloody, we're supposed to be fixing the Talbot in this video, but instead we're looking at penknives. Alright, so should be out. Oh, it's very stiff. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to get that out. I'm gonna have to work on that. There we go. I've obviously got to better open it with my hands, and otherwise I don't want to have to go and get a screwdriver every time I want to open a bloody penknife. I'll work on that. I'll oil it up. I'll adjust it. But that's brilliant. And no, some of you are going to comment, you can't have a lock knife in this country. It's not a lock knife. It doesn't lock. It doesn't lock. So you're allowed to have a penknife. I've always carried a penknife. So it's been sharpened a few times. Look at that blade. That's been sharpened a few times. But that'll be alright. There's plenty of life left in that yet. Not particularly sharp at the moment. Nice. Got myself a nice little penknife. What way is it supposed to go? That way, yeah. It's a little bit wonky, but never mind. That'll be alright. Let's get rid of a bit of that extra glue that's fallen down in there. I might better open it up now. Oh, there we go. Now I've got rid of the extra super glue that fell down in there. I can just... Oh, maybe I can't. Oh, bollocks. Oh, there we go. Got it. Oh, over the moon. Right, let's stop fanning around with penknives. Let's go and do some work. Well, we got one changed. Managed to do the alternator belt. I was looking at the water pump belt and I thought, I don't really know how you're supposed to untension it, and I know those pulleys can be a bit of a bastard. So I decided just to leave the water pump and just do the alternator one. Belt weren't all that bad. It was quite bad in one place. There, look. The rest of it was alright. Must have slipped there at some point. And then got going again. But at least got the alternator one done. Now all we've got to think about is the water pump at a later date. One more thing I wanted to do was change over these valves, look. Got this valve that goes on there. That's a fresh water tank for your fresh water. So I'm going to put this one on. If I put that there, that should fit in. The only thing I'm worried about is the thread in there. Because when I undid the other one, it weren't all the best. I need to put some PTFE on it, but I want to see if it's going to thread in first. It might not even thread in. I might need to. Oh no, it's going in. Oh, it is going in. That's good. That's good. But the trouble is, oh, that's closed. There you go. That's closed like that. And that'll be open. Get some PTFE tape on it, and away we go. There we go. Hopefully that's going to be alright. So now I've got a new valve for the fresh. Oh, I can't see it. You've still got the new one. You can just about see it down there in the distance that I put on for the dirty water. Good. We're slowly getting there. Slowly but surely. So I noticed that this little bit of trim was flapping around, and when I had a look, the screws were missing from here. Someone's bodged all these up with just self-tappers all the way along, because I don't want this flapping around when I go on the long journey. I've been in my little box of bolts, and I've got 2 bolts, and they're slightly too big to go through the hole, because that's just held on to there like that. So I'm just going to drill them out, put these 2 bolts through, nut on the end, sorted. I'd call that a bit of a success, even though that bit cracked and that bit nearly fell off. But at least now it's solid, it ain't going anywhere. To be honest, it all needs to just be taken off and redone with like a new bit, but there's so much else wrong that's more important. I think I'll just leave it. Well, that's a few little jobs done anyway. Bit annoyed, well not annoyed, a bit frustrated, I suppose is the word. I didn't do the water pump belt, but looking at it, hopefully it'll be alright. I just can't work out how to get it off, and I know them pulleys are prone to breaking, and I've got to do a long journey on it. It'll all become clear in a few weeks' time because I'll do a video on it, but I've got to do a long journey, and I want it to be, I don't want to break it beforehand, because I've waited a whole year. To be able to do this journey that I've got to do, so I want it to be alright. But look at one thing I've noticed. A couple of weeks ago, when I was looking through them old toolbox, I found this Snap-on M. What is it? It's Snap-on M70M midget M70M. Now I just assumed that this was an ordinary ratchet, but I can't get it to fit on any bloody sockets. I went to use it, earlier on today, and I tried some sockets that I had in the toolbox, they wouldn't fit on. So I thought, oh, that's strange. Oh well. So then I went to my trusty socket set, and I'm missing the 8mm. I need to try and get an 8mm. And I picked out the 10mm because that's the one that I wanted, right? And guess what? Oops. Right, ratchet, socket. They don't fit. It's just slightly the wrong shape to actually fit on. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, it's an old-fashioned one. Perhaps it'll take. What we got here? 3/16, right? We've got 3/16. I wouldn't have thought that the end, you know, the end that the ratchet goes in would be a different size, and it ain't, because it don't fit on that one either. So I thought this was just a 1/4 inch ratchet, but it ain't, because it don't fit on any socket. And if we go up to, what's this one, 1/2 inch, just trying to see the different sizes, but it ain't. That is clearly far too big, so it just doesn't seem to fit. I can't work out why. So I'm calling upon you lot, the tool experts. What is different about this old snap-on M70M? Why won't it fit on any sockets? Well, I know why it won't fit. It's too big. But why? What's the reason? What is it actually meant for? I was quite excited I was going to get a nice little ratchet, but it doesn't fit. So yeah, you lot, the tool experts, put in the comments. M70M, I know I could just go look it up on Google and find out the reason, but I like to converse with you lot. The knowledge that you lot can bring is invaluable. Yeah, man, why don't it work? You tell me. I'll give you, it's probably something like this. I'll give you what I think the reason could well be. I don't know, it's just what I'm thinking it could be. Because this is snap-on. I mean, you'd think that they wouldn't be like this, and you'd think that it'd fit on everything, but it's snap-on. So have they got their own size? You know, just to be awkward. So if you have a snap-on ratchet, you have to have snap-on sockets. You have to have snap-on, you know, like I say, sockets for it to fit. You can't just buy a snap-on ratchet but then use your other sockets from another brand, Draper or whoever. You have to have snap-on. So they made them slightly bigger to fit, and that way the snap-on sockets won't fit on a Draper ratchet because they'll be too big. So you've got to go and buy a snap-on ratchet to fit your snap-on sockets. Is that the case? I never knew that, if it is the case. I've got one other snap-on ratchet, and as far as I know, I don't know where it's gone because I was looking for it the other day, but as far as I can remember, it does fit on my Halford's Advanced sockets, but it might not do it. It's been many years. I don't know where it's gone. It's I think it's an 1/2 inch ratchet, that one. I wanted to find it so I could have this put with it. I'll have a little snap-on, mini snap-on set. But so what is the case? Am I right? You lot let me know. Some of you lot are mechanics, and you'll be snap-on experts, because I know some of you lot commented before and you would buy snap-on. So is that the case? If it is, that's a dirty trick by snap-on. But if it isn't, and this is some kind of specialty ratchet, let me know. So we was out and about. My daughter said she wanted a bike. She said, I want a bike. So I said, alright, let's have a look around. And we had a look, and there was a bloke selling a kid's bike, a girl's bike for 30 quid. I said, look, I'll give you 20 quid. So he accepted. So now we've got a little bike. At least now she can ride around. We've got to do a few little things to it. Got to get some new grips, because the grip there's completely had it. I'm going to get rid of the bell. It does work just about, but she don't ever use the bell anyway. That needs a new grip, that side. I think I need to try and get some different levers. This one's alright for the back brake, but the front one, it's just something's a bit wrong with it. I'm going to have a look. I've had a little play around with the brakes, because the brakes were very, very bad when we did pick it up from the person earlier on. It does need a new cable, but for now that's alright. The idea is that we're doing all this as cheap as possible. I wonder if I can get a new cap for that. just so that it looks a bit better on the other side. But as far as being functional, I've oiled up the chain because the chain was extremely rusty, and they do work. It's got good tyres on it, good tyres. I'll try and get a new cap there so that it matches the other side. But the idea is, this is supposed to be doing all this on a budget, do you know what I mean? Because well, money's scarce at the moment, so you know, for 20 quid now, but she's got quite a nice bike. I don't know what, I've never heard of that. Chotic? I ain't pronounce that, but
Dad.
you know, it's one of them.
Daddy.
Yes? Oh, you're on a scooter?
Yeah.
Lovely. So, it's quite a nice little bike. It's got a reflector on the back, but we'll get rid of that. So, you know, for 20 quid, I'm quite happy with that. We'll do some little bits to it, but it's perfectly functional as it is. We don't need to do anything to it really, but I will get her some new grips, and I'll fix that front brake. And if I can, I'll go down to Corringham Cycles to get the grips and the brake wheel, and I'll ask him if he's got any little caps for the top of the suspension. If he has, brilliant. I won't bother with a new back brake cable, I don't think, just yet, because that's perfectly fine. That's holding the brakes work alright, so I think we'll wait until we really have to, because as I said, the whole point of this is getting a bike on the budget. For 20 quid, to get a new bike, for a branded new bike, you're looking at 150 quid minimum. So 20 quid, she's got a decent little bike there now, proper happy with that. I still haven't managed to find a float for this little carb. I haven't managed to find one. I've looked around eBay briefly, but I haven't done a proper deep sort of explore of eBay. But it's definitely got a hole in there. I reckon what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to patch the hole up, try and find some like petrol resistant filler or glue or something, just to patch over the hole. Or maybe liquid metal. I have got some liquid metal, but the trouble is, obviously, you can't make it heavy because the pivot point is here and the hole is right at that end. So anything you put on it's going to have a big effect on the floating, you know, how well it floats. So if you put something too heavy on it, it's just going to sink to the bottom of the bowl and it ain't never going to float. So I've got to find something that's that's nice and light. So yeah. I might better adjust where the needle, you know, where it seats and blocks it off to, you know, adjust the for adjusting the weight. But really, I just like a new float, really, to tell you the truth. But yeah, so if you see one on eBay or somewhere that looks like this one and you reckon it'll fit, just put in the comments and let me know where you saw it, and I'll go and have a look. Anyway, you lot, this camera's about to run out of battery, so what I was going to do, I'll do it in another video. If you're interested in the Talbot, when I said earlier on that I'm going to be doing a video on the Talbot, what's going to happen next, it's going to be a long video. Well, not necessarily a long one, but hopefully it'll be a good one. If it works out, I've got it in my head, it will be a good one. That video will come out, hopefully, towards the sort of end of December. So stick around, subscribe or whatever, and at the end of December, you'll see exactly what's going to happen with the Talbot. And I can give you a little bit of a spoiler sort of thing. It's the result of many hours of working. Many long hours of working every hour I can. So leave your imaginations to wander what's going to happen with the Talbot. But trust me, it'll be the tits. Thanks for watching, you lot. I'll catch you later on. Enjoy yourselves. And yeah, just love life. By the way, I better point this out. I know that says chaotic, alright? Chaotic. I'm about to get some comments of some people saying, that's not how you say chaotic, chaotic.